Welcome everyone, Madman bringing another RSL video, and today is actually day 2 into the Titus Black Plume Fusion event, and let's get ready to rumble, ha ha ha, and see what's required. Alright, so first item on the list is the Champ Training Tournament 6350 for the 25 frags. It's pretty much kind of been in the top end of the standard range. 6,000, 6150 is kind of the lower end. So what's 200 points really in a champ training when books count, ascensions count, and stuff like that. But let's double check real quick. So points going up for the levels are the same. Of course, when you rank up, the points remain the same. Ascensions points are the same, and using skill tomes remains the same. So nothing's changed for the champ training tournament, and they're just hugging that higher end though for the point requirements. Alright, so also a day 1 event starter is the Dragon Tournament, our standard 2250, which has not changed in I don't know how long, we're talking years now, for the 25 fragments. Remains the same here, and let's see. Oh, there's absolutely no change in the points that you can get as you gather the gear. Okay, to make it boring for you on day 1, Dungeon Diver event starts on day 2, so hopefully you didn't do too much champ training or dragon, so that you can get at least that to count a little bit extra here to Dungeon Divers, which of course standard here lately, for at least a year now, I guess now, 3,700 points for your 25 fragments, and your reduced pricing to your actual tournaments such as Dragon and Spider and stuff. Your reduced points here, but still standard, remains the same based on the gear and the rank and rating that you get. And the last thing on the list for day 2 is Summon Rush. It is a Friday. They always seem to do a Summon Rush or Champ Chase on Friday. 3,000 is for the 25 fragments here. So every time we have an event where there's 25 frags for the epics, it's pretty much been 3,000 for the last year. So nothing's actually changed there. It's when they do like a rare and an epic, they kind of price hike it up a little bit. Or if they do 5 frags and 10 frags, then they price hike it. You might see it up as high as 3,500, usually like 3,100 or something to make you pull one more potential sacred, or something else. And then just more rewards there. But if we scroll down here, no boosted points for ancients or voids. Everything is pretty much standard points wise for pulling your shards. Day 3 during the fusion event brings us a little relief in Classic Arena Takedown Numero Uno. 390 points, standard forever to get to 25 frags, and standard rates do apply depending on where you are at in Arena. Most people are in Classic Arena 5, so it only takes 30 battles to reach that, depending on how you have to have things set up or whatever, and your time. This could be done in an hour. This could be done in a session if you got a super good team here, but usually doesn't take more than a couple of hours there to get this knocked out. So it's fairly easy. Maybe a little bit longer if you're in a lower rank like gold 2 or whatever. If you're in silver, it's going to be a lot rougher. If you're bronze, have them for a bit, but it is still doable, but it is a pain if you're in lower tiers. But for most of us, it's probably fairly easy. A little break there, not taking too long. Also on day 3 with a little relief is Gear Enhancement Event. We scroll down, 4775 is the threshold. Been that way for at least a year now to get to 25 fragments here. Nothing looks like it has changed here as far as leveling or ranking up your gear here. So that is good. And this one literally could take you 5 minutes if you want to. It all breaks down to how much coin you have. So a little bit of reprieve here for the start of the weekend. And as day 3 turns into day 4, we have Ice Golem Tournament. 2250, still the point threshold to meet to get the 25 frags. And if we come over here to info, nothing has changed. Alrighty. And in true raid fashion, they threw in a second summon rush, just 2 days, not that that really matters. And 3,000 points, typical for the summon rush. And then they went with 5,500 for the other set of frags, which is not too bad, other than the fact they already had a summon rush. They weren't such pains in the ass. This would have been the better one to go, but you just don't know what they're going to throw at you. So they could have just put something way up here and then even further up. But they didn't, amazingly so. But the points still remain the same for the type of shards you open. Gear enhancement number 2 is underway. And as always, 4775 for the 25 fragments. And nothing has changed as far as requirements there. Alright, champ training event is underway. And 6100 for the 25 frags. That is actually lately anyway, which lately has probably actually been like a year now. That is the lower end for frags or champion or whatever, 6100. Sometimes it's 63 to 6500, so nothing too outrageous there. And let's see, 8, 6, 3, 2, 1, 1, 1, same, 5, 15, 50, and 30. So the level up and rank up points are still the same. Alright, they added a little curveball in, nothing too crazy, but they put the event dungeon tournament in, even though, you know, we have Spider, Ice Golem, Fire Knight, and Dragon already. We haven't come to Spider or Ice Golem, I believe, or maybe it's Fire Knight. Either way, haven't got to those yet, but they dropped the points threshold to 1900 for the 25 frags. If we go here and look real quick, so you have artifacts, but you also get accessories from this event dungeon. But if you sum this up, 29 for a 6-star mythical, or 20 points for a 5-star legendary, whether it be an accessory or an artifact, that is the same. So nothing has changed here. The point requirements are just a little bit lower. In fact, it's nice. Hey, 3,500 to get that. But I don't know. They modified this dungeon here, I believe, earlier today. And so I don't know how easy it is to farm stage 30 anymore. But most people are probably going with 20 and then feel out how far down the line they can farm out for later and just get this knocked out of the way. But there we go with the event dungeon tournament. And next on the list is the Spider tournament. 2250 is the point threshold to get to 25 fragments. And if we come over here, 20 and 9 for mythical, 5 and 5 for legendary. So we are exactly the same amount of points as we've been for so ever long. As we come into the final weekend, Champ Chase tournament is on. Only 1550 for the 25 frags, which is pretty low. I want to say 1250 of those what they've gone, or even 1150 they've gone fairly low with, but usually there's upper frags or a rare whatever available as well. Anyway, not too crazy there. As you can see, I have 0 points. Real quick here, right? It's a point scale here, so only 10 points for rares, 250 for epics, 500 for legendaries, and if you're lucky enough to pull a mythical, 1,000 points. But if they're void, then you get boosted rates, so 50, 350, and 650. Alright, now the little trick is, I had one left over, and I grabbed it from Sand Devil tournament or whatever. And so if we come to the portal here, you saw I had 0 points. Literally this ended as that champ chase started. So if we click on the summon pool here, we only got 2 epics. Neither one of them really that good, so that kind of stinks here. But now we can come over and boom. Didn't have this reward before. And we have 500 points. So I can come over here real quick. Now I can find Lemonici. There's another 500 points. Go ahead and click on that, Facebook, and got those goodies there. Then we'll come over here real quick, fragment summon, and we will summon 1. Now this is void, so that's 350 points. And we'll summon him again. Why it's back out, I don't know. So that's 700 points. We picked up 500 for Lemonici or whatever. So we should be at 1,700 points. And real quick, come back over here. And boom. We've got what we needed. We didn't have to pull a shard 1. Makes it kind of boring, so I don't know if I'll pull shards later on. But, yeah. You know, if you're fortunate enough, you could be really close. Because, I mean, you got 1,200 points easy. So, you could be really close or over the limit. Anyway, that's the champ chase. Alright, as we roll into the final weekend here, Classic Arena Takedown number 2, 390 points to acquire your 25 frags. And if we come here, 14 for Platinum. Congratulations if you're making it there. Most people are going to be in Gold 5, and the points are still the same though if you are making your way up. And Dungeon Diver event number 2. Instead of number 3, luckily, but 3,700, the standard for a little while here, gets you to 25 frags, and if we come down here, points remain the same. Okay, while it is not the actual last day for this fusion, it is the last of the requirements being put out for the fusion, and we have Fire Knight. It is 2250 points to get to 25 fragments here. And if we look over here, yep, 20 and 9, 15 and 5, standard rates do apply for the artifacts. And lastly, Gear Enhancement event number 3, 4775 is the threshold for the 25 fragments. And if we scroll down, yes, 340 for a 6-star, 270 for 5-star. Points remain the same. Hope you enjoy your fusion if you did it. Have a nice day.